From Normandy to the Eastern Front, something some of us actually did expect to happen in a sequel of Steel Division if it did ever happen. So no surprise there, but what new things does it have in store for us? Are there any changes to the mechanic? Are there any campaign changes? We will discuss that in this video as much as I can with the limited information that I have at this given moment. So as I said, it will be playing out in the Eastern Front from a viewpoint of the Soviets during their counteroffensive in Belarusia, leading them all the way to Warsaw in a operation named Bagration. So Operation Bagration? I'm not quite sure if I pronounced that right. But this was basically the beginning of the end of the Germans and their Eastern campaign. So what will Steel Division have in store for us compared to Steel Division 1? Well, for one, they will again have a 10v10 multiplayer, but they do emphasize on the fact that it will be across 25 sizable maps. Now, I think this little detail needs to be taken with a big bucket load of salt, because usually what happens is in both Wargame and in Steel Division 1, what they did with a regular map was basically increase it on the flanks, so largen it on the flanks, give it a new name, and that'll be map 2. Or they take that map, rotate it 90 degrees, and again increase it on the flanks and call it map 3. So I hope that doesn't happen as much, because that was honestly very boring and just not really interesting in the long run. It was fine for a little bit, but just did not really offer that much replayability, you know, in the long run. You'll be able to choose from 18 different divisions. I do not know if this is their final count or if this is their starter count, because what they do is they usually release more divisions throughout the development of the game. And you'll be able to command over 600 units from both the Red Army and Axis forces. Again, they don't really give that many details on this because the game is probably still in development, but Axis forces kind of tells me that it might be, well, it will probably be more than just the German forces, so we might see some I don't know, we might see some Romanian troops, we might see some Austrian, like special Austrian units or something like that. We might also see some Polish resistance forces, kind of like a in-between army, which would be really cool actually, to have like a defensive mission with the Polish. So since you guys probably don't want to listen to like a 20-minute rant of me thinking what this game might be about, I'm just going to basically sum up 4 main points that they will introduce, or that they say they will introduce in Steel Division 2. So, Steel Division 2 will obviously have a solo player and competitive multiplayer, but also a co-op mode. So we did see that happen in Steel Division 1 with some of the campaigns, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to happen with Steel Division 2, which brings me to my second point. So the second point is Steel Division 2 will have a strategic, dynamic campaign, putting you in charge of an entire army on huge up to 150 by 100 kilometer maps. So you will have your entire army at your disposal in a turn-based campaign on a massive map, which might actually be really freaking cool. Third, battle in the multiplayer skirmish modes on the 25 available maps in the game modes Conquest, Destruction, Attack/Defense, and more. They do not elaborate on the more part, but with this they do promise that there will be more battle modes. And lastly, you'll be able to customize your battle groups in a brand new deck system, allowing a never seen before tactical freedom, is what they say. I just hope they really bring back the war game experience with the deck building. What I do hope to see, and this really destroyed Steel Division 1 for most of us, is that annoying front line, just the massive line that moves around on the front line. That basically killed off any stealthy flanking missions, or any flanking missions whatsoever, because the enemy would literally just see where your units are based on the movement of that front line. So I do hope that there's either an option to turn it off in lobbies. There probably is like a mod or something for that, but the best thing to do would just be to turn it off completely as default. Bring back the strategic factor in these RTS games. Don't make it a frontline like knuckle versus knuckle battle throughout the game, because that's basically what Steel Division 1 is. It was just two masses of units colliding against each other instead of the finesse and tactical awareness of players in Wargame Red Dragon, which did make it which did make the learning curve a bit steeper, but in the end there was more replayability and way more support like in the long run for the game. So I do hope that they build on that and make those small adjustments, or at least give us the option to adjust those for them. Anyways, I think that was it. If you guys want more information about this game, please check out my Facebook channel. The link is down below, and I also tweet frequently, or will be tweeting frequently, about this game and other stuff. I will also be live streaming on either YouTube or Twitch. All the links are down below, and as always, I will see you guys back in the next one. Take care.